Hello, and welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. If this is your first time, welcome and thank you for stopping by. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified the minute I have a new tutorials. Also, please share with your family and friends. I would appreciate that very much. I thought that I would throw in a quick Valentine's Day project for those of you who might want to design your own Valentine's gift boxes. So I started working on some designs. This is the first one that I did. You can see the layers panel over there, but it's still really easy to make. I was going to uh, design this one would be for if there's a gentleman out there that wants to make one for the special woman in his life. Here's a good idea. Now I'm going to make a couple for that might be more kid friendly. So this is one of the images I found in my free searches, and so I like it. It's kind of reddish, not so badly pink. So I'm going to use it for a boy and a girl, but I'll just change up the image that I put on it. So first I'm going to go to cut out and picture, cut out of picture with the cookie cutter shape. I'm going to choose the square since the boxes that am making these to fit on are the 6 by 6 by 4 boxes that seems to be popular with the um, a lot of the decorators and treat makers. So I'm just going to crop out a square. I'm going to just make it the same size as this one, and if it's square it will fit on any square shape, so you don't have to worry about it so much. For this one is a 4 by 6, so it's 4 inches high and 6 inches across. That one you'll just have to measure it up like I'm doing, just put them next to each other, and that should be fine. So I had just found a whole bunch of different graphics on the internet to use through my searches, and I found this one still has a background on it, so I wanted to show anyone who didn't know how to pull the background out, how to pull the background out of the image. Now you can have still multiple images on the page, just move those all behind the main one that has the background, and once you pull the background out, they will still be there. So I'm going to go here to cut out in picture, cut out of picture by color selection, and I'm going to just click on the white. Because this background is completely white, I don't have to lower my number here so that it doesn't pick up lighter shades of pink or anything. I could just, since it's solid white, I can just leave it on 2, hit next, and now in order to keep the heart image, I'm going to choose select opposite area. Make sure there's no check here because I want to keep it on this page, and then I'm going to hit done. Now if you look over here, it looks like you have 2 hearts. What you want to do is click on the second heart, right click on it, and then choose delete. And all of a sudden you see that your background is clear and it has been removed. Now sometimes I like using shadows, so sometimes when you do this and you add a shadow, and I'm going to test it out and see if this one is doing it, you when you go to special effects shadow, it will, and you click on the shadow you want to use, sometimes it will put a square around it so that you will see the square. So let me hit done and see if I see the square. You see a light square around there. So what I do in that case, I'm going to hit back arrow, and what I do when I have that little shadow there, I just go through, and you can do it one of 2 ways. You can go to edge effect, soft edges, and click up a couple of times. Sometimes that will get rid of it. If not, you will have to just do a quick trim around it. So let's see if that got rid of it for me. I'm going to go back to special effects, shadow, put a soft shadow on, bring it down a bit, but you run the risk of getting that jagged edge if you do it the way that I just did it. But for um, just to try to not make this such a long video, I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Let me go back to edge softness. I can take it down one and it might be gone. So let's test it. Click on that special effects, shadow, put a soft shadow and just pull it out a little bit and done. And yeah, it looks like it is gone. All right. So now I'm going to just shrink that down a little bit and move it off to the edge. I will make the boys a boys box first. So I have the box top there for the boy to start the boys box, and then I'm going to just crop this out again so that I can cut out enough to make this box. So I'm going to go to cut out in picture, cut out of picture with the cookie cutter shape. And first I'm going to shrink this down because this is the size box I want, or the piece that I want to cut out of there. And I'm going to just put it around this box because I know that's the right size. Now I can move it over here and then cut out. And even if I shrink it down a little bit, I still have the right shape. So I just shrink that down a little bit so that I can get the piece I want. And now I can bring that down and resize it back up to the right size 4x6. Or you don't have to, because once you put it in Cricut to cut it out, it'll be fine anyway. So, but I'll go ahead and resize both of these so that they're even. And now for the boy, I thought I would use this little monster, but he's pink, and boys usually don't like pink so much. So all I did was crop out his different colors, and I'll show you how I've changed it up. I'm going to go ahead and save this just in case I have a close down. I won't have to start this all over again. All right, so now I already cropped him out, and I'll just show you the pieces. I'll go ahead and move this one to the back. And all I did was make him red, and I left the hearts as color. I made his mouth pink so that it would stand out. And now he looks more boy appropriate. And I can, let's say my son's name is Dan or David. I can put letters in here to personalize it to him. David would be easy to do. So I'm going to just go here to text. And I'm just going to go, I can go to like any text. You can get a kid-like text or a scribble look, but I think I'm just going to use Arial Black. So I click in this box, push A, or type A, and it'll immediately take me to the A fonts. Then I just choose the one I want, and I'm just going to put it on cap lock. I'll make these white, so I'll click right here to turn that to white, and then I'm just going to shrink that D down so that it can fit in this first heart, just like that. Make it a little, I can drag it down a little bit so that it's not too close to the top. And then I'm just going to hit to duplicate that letter and paste it right next to it. So the two sheets of paper next to the scissors here on the icon strip right here. This one, as you can see, if you hover over it, it says copy. The next one says paste. So if you ever forget where they are, that automatically will show you. And I'm just going to put a letter in each one of these. Just going to paste and drop, and then turn it using the little ball at the top so that I get the right angle. And then it will be saying David for your son or daughter, or you can put love on it, whatever, whatever you think would fit or that your child might like. And now I'm just going to right click on each one of these, choose edit text, and change the letter. Right click, edit text, and change your letter. And you see it doesn't take very long to do this. I'm doing it a little slower than I would be doing it if I, oh, the last letter is a D. If I had been actually making it, I would be going a little faster. So it really would go a little faster. Um, it doesn't take very long. So I'm going to go ahead and group all these letters together, and then I'm going to add a shadow by going to Special Effects Shadow just to make them stand out a bit more. And I'll just drop it down a little bit, and you see it automatically makes it stand out a bit. So now I'm just going to group the little monster and the letters and close it up. And I group by dragging from the top right or left over the entire images. It's not like with Cricut where you just drag from the side. You actually have to encapsulate that whole image and then hit the little puzzle piece to close it up, just like that. And now I'm going to put a shadow around the whole figure so that he stands out from the back of that box. So I'm just going to go once again while I have him chosen. I'm going to go to Special Effects Shadow. I'm going to choose the edge shadow and then just pull it out some, and you see it makes him pop out of that background more. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that I can see how it's coming along. And I guess I'll have him standing at the bottom of the box. And I can also make another little one by, I'm going to go ahead, save it. And actually I can pull him up from the bottom and drag him into the picture, even though I'm working on this page. Just like that. And I'll just put him over in this corner this time, shrink him down a little bit. And I'll go and grab the balloons that I had on this page. I have them all grouped up together, so you can just click on that arrow until you see what you want and just drag it and drop it in. I want to brighten those up a little bit. So let me go to Paint and Color Effects. Change color will brighten it up or darken it up. If you choose this one, it will change the whole thing to a flat image. So you don't want to do that. You just want to change it up a little bit. And I'm just going to brighten those up by clicking on this first little toggle switch, which is for brightening or darkening an image. I'm going to hit done. And I'm also going to put a shadow around that to make that bounce off the page. So once again, while I have it chosen, I'm going to go to Special Effect, choose a shadow, get the soft shadow, and then I'm just going to drop it down so that it mimics the shading that I put on the monster. And sometimes it's a little harder to get than it has to be. Now, since this side is still blending in, I'm going to go over both the monster and the balloons, and I'm going to group them. And now I can add an additional shadow, edge shadow, so that there will be a little shadow on this side to make that side stand out a little more from the background as well. And down here, I can use the same thing that I have here. I can just group. I'm going to go ahead and save this just to make sure. And I'll move this back over. And I have this rose going a little off the box so that it gives the illusion that it really might be on top of the box. And then I cut this little strip out and put the flower, set the flower underneath it so it looks like it's actually stuck into the top of that box. So I'm going to go back, and I left this heart here because if you didn't want to put the Rita there or the wife, you could always change it out and still put the heart there. And this, as you can see, has the puzzle piece because I actually put this together. I cut out what writing was in there. This was a free graphic, and I just cut out the writing that was in there so that I could personalize it myself. So I'm just going to drag up another one so I can do it for the little boy box. So I'm just going to click here, drag and drop, unlock it, and I think I want it to be a brighter red, so I'm going to drag over all of them so I can change the color at the same time. Choose paint and color effects. And this time I'm just going to make it bright. I don't know why this outer one didn't change. I'll do it now. I'll just go once again to paint and color effects. I guess I didn't go out far enough. And now I can change this name by right clicking, choose edit text. I can change the font to Arial so it'll match the David, and then go to scroll down until I see black, and then I can just change that to David. Oops. So wow, I'm really on a roll tonight. Let's take out that D equals David, and then I'll shrink this down and leave it inside of there. And I could change this to my favorite son. Once again, I'll change it to the Arial black, and I'll say for for my oops for my, and then at the bottom I can put favorite son. And the way I bend that text while I'm in here, because I might need to open that up a little bit, shrink it down a little. And then to make it fit that curve better, I'm going to go to apply special effect, bend text, and then you have these choices to choose from, and then you can fine tune it by clicking up or down on these arrows. To open it up, you click down, and to curve it upward, you would click up. So I'm just going to position that for my, and then I'll change the bottom to favorite son. Just keep clicking done. I'm going to right click, edit text, change it to Arial by typing A, and then scrolling down. I'm not feeling the best today. The medicine that I'm on for my knee injury is making me kind of nauseous. So I guess I should have waited for tomorrow to do this, but I was trying to get a couple uploaded tonight. So I'm going to change this to favorite son, all caps, and try to get out of your way for tonight. So I will do these two and I'll call it a night, but that will give you a good idea on how you can design these using the same techniques that I did. I see this little box around there, so I'm going to cut that out by going to cut out of picture with the cookie cutter shape. I'll use the circle. I'm going to shrink this down some so that I can leave those boxes out. And hit next. I'm done. And now I can move this over and I can get rid of this one. Alright. And this might need to change to white because it's blending in too much. So let's see how it looks in white. That doesn't look bad. Let's give it a shadow edge and see how that does. So it brings it out a little more. So you can leave it like that, or you can change it back to red. Or for this one, all I did, I'll show you. I'll just bring up a copy of that one. And then in the final, I'll show you the one that I designed for a little girl. But it's really easy to do. So first I'm going to group this one so I can drag it up again from the bottom. And then I'm going to move over this way, and I'm going to click on that picture. Oh, looks like I didn't get 14, so I have to go back so I can get the 14 in there. Don't want to leave that behind, so I need to go down further. I think I got it that time. And now I will click on this here is the same image as this full page, so I just click on it so it brings up this smaller view of it, and then I can find the graphics that I want to drag and use on my new boxes. So now I have this here. Don't worry about that shadow. It's not really there. Once you do that, it goes. So I'm going to click this loose just so you can see what I did. I just uh, I just made drug up this red background and then drug up these gold squares so that I could just make this little open and don't open until box. I'll zoom in a bit. And if you don't know how to make the backgrounds, I'd show in some other tutorials, but I'll just do one quickly so you can see how to do that. Go to cutout and picture, add a colored shape, which is the last choice. It brings up this box. Go ahead and hit done. Then you're going to go to paint and color effects, fill with the gradient. If you want to change the color, you can go and just make one that's gold by choosing here. But if you want to change the colors, choose the silver one. Then you're going to scroll down on click a style, and you're going to choose this one that has that little buttonhole there because it gives you the sunburst image. So now to change the color, you're going to go to touch up, correct tint. It's once again defaulted to red, but you could change it to any color you want, gold or any of the other colors. We'll take it back to red, and then you're just going to slide this slider across and it'll begin to turn red. Slide a little more. Then you're going to click on done, go to paint and color effects, change color, and then I'm going to darken it here to get it to the red I want. And it's a little orange, so I'm going to pull it more over to the red. I'm going to increase the saturation by clicking on the middle so that it gives it that vibrant red. And you just do that until adjust it using the toggle up and down until you get it to the color that you want it. So I'll go with that one. And then for this one, I'll just make these areas white. So I'm going to go to cutout and picture, add a colored shape. I'm actually starting to feel a little better, so I might be able to finish this. And I'm going to make these white ones the same size as the gold. And I'll just move it over to this one. And just, you know me, I'm always eyeballing things rather than actually measuring them out, but it seems to turn out pretty well. And so I'm just going to position this one on there too. And now I can use this same font. I'll just ungroup it and copy the font. I'm right clicking. You could either do it here with the two pieces of paper and the clipboard, or you can right click on it and choose copy. Since I want all of the writing, I'm just going to go ahead and drag so that I'm not including the full squares. I'm just going to grab just the lettering. I'm going to group it, hit copy. I'm going to group it, and then once again I'm going to drag it up from the bottom by clicking on the lettering, and then I'll just use this lettering. So that's how you'd make that box. You could add shadows if you wanted by going to Special Effects Shadow. Actually, I could choose both of those at the same time and put the shadow around both of them. And then go to Special Effects Shadow. And then drag out from any edge and it'll put the shadow around both boxes. I don't want it that much because it's taking my red away. Hit done. I might move these down a little bit more in the middle just to give them a little more separation there. I can just move these numbers to the front by dragging them up to the top of my layers panel so that next time when I pull it over, it will be on top. And once again, I can change this to Arial by clicking there, choosing Arial Black, and I'll wait until I have all my letters over there, and then I'll resize it at that time. Right click, and I could have just typed it underneath that one. Maybe I'll just do that, but sometimes it seems like it's just too far away. I don't like it being so spaced apart. You'll see in a minute. I'll go ahead and delete that, and then I'll just type don't open until. I think I did that in all caps, the until. So until, oops, I left out the caps that time. Okay, I guess I am still a little loopy. Until, and then you see how it spaces it apart, and so I'll just move that over a little bit, and then I'll also take the 14. I think I'm going to delete that one, and I'm just going to bring the 14. Actually, I could have just used the same 14. I'll bring it back by hitting the back arrow, and I'll just use the same 14 just to go ahead and get this one finished. And then I'm just going to group that whole thing and drag it over into this box, shrink it down a little, move him over a little bit. I'll save that one. I'll use it for the little girls, and I'm going to put a shadow around this one as well, around the outer edge, just to make it stand out a bit. Hit done. I think I'll shrink that down just a little more. All right, so now we have 2 of our boxes made. I'll go ahead and get rid of this. So now I'll make the little girls, and I'll probably use this same box, so I'll get rid of this one. I'll use the same box, so I will just turn these 2 areas white. So I'll click on both of them and then go to paint and color effect and just turn those into white ones again and group it. I'm going to use the same background, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut both of these out together just like this, just so I can use those same backgrounds without having to go through a lot of work. Take the arrow out to make sure that it stays on this page, and then I'm just going to drag out those 2 pieces just like that and leave the boy box intact. And now I can quickly finish my girl's box, and for her I chose a cupcake, so I'll drag that in. And I'll put hers in the middle of the box. I'll put it to the other side. And then I'm going to also put a shadow around it by going to Special Effects Shadow, a soft shadow, and then pull that out a little bit so that it stands out from the background a little bit more. I'll put hers on this side. Nope, I'll leave it there. And I will just do the balloons again. So I'll drag the balloons up from the other picture. Let me see, I might have something else I could use on hers, because I had a couple of more pictures. Oh, I could use this paint heart, a painted heart. So yeah, I'll use that. So I'm going to go back to my little girl's picture, and I'll bring up that painted heart. And I'll give it a little edge effect by going to special effects, shadow, soft shadow, and then offset it a little bit so it stands out. I'll brighten it up some by going to paint and color effects, change color, and then clicking up on the brightness toggle. And then I'll write her name and hers with white. And I will just say Lisa. And shrink it down some, take it up. So these are just kind of fun to make. You can put anything on there you want. Kind of works out. I'll make a duplicate of this little cupcake and drag it up again to put it next to the don't open until date. Put it down some. I'm going to soften that edge a little bit because I did see that little gray line there. So I'll do that on both of those just by going to edge effect, soften, hit them a couple of times up and make it disappear or blend in better one or the other. I think I hit it a couple of times and that pretty much gets it out of the way. Yeah, that looks much better. All right, and now I will put the same don't open until February 14th. So I think I'll just cut this one out again and place it over there just to save some time. So I'm going to go to cut the cutout function and choose with the cookie cutter shape. Shrink it down some until I get just the red portion of that outer edge. I could probably take a little more because I have it kind of in the same place. So I'll probably just go on out and get that shadow and just place it right over the other side. I'll move this one out of the way. Bring that one in. And I can even kind of set it in the right spot so that you can't even tell that much that it was just a crop out. All right, so last I'm going to make one for Mr. or Dad for this family. So you'll have one for each person in the family. I can even go with the same gold. So I'll just cut this one out and then I'll use this one to make the last one. So I'm going to go ahead and go to cut out in picture with the cookie cutter shape. Zoom in a bit so I can get to the piece that I want. I just want this down here. So I'm going to shrink this down. I can just make sure that I'm getting all of that right there. That whole box. Hit next and done. And then I will just bring over, I'm going to send this, I'll just bring over these two pieces by grouping them together, drag them over here to make Dad's box. And I'll just make it with the same red and gold. I'm going to leave this one here and I'm going to cut out that box. And you see how easy it is once you have something made, you can just use it over and over again to create others on just by cropping out the one that you're finished with and leaving it there. And then I can take this box underneath up, not that one. I can take the one underneath here, move this out the way. That's take this one up from behind, leave this one here, and then I can resize this one. I'll bring this back down. I can resize this one so that I have the top box by ungrouping it and just pulling up on the red and then pulling up on the gold. And just like that, I have my last box. Now for this one, I'll go ahead and get rid of this because I'll just use this same writing over here. Zoom in a little bit so I can cut it out again. Cut out a picture with a cookie cutter shape. And I'm just going to grab that, just that gold, that little red and gold box. And that will save me some time on making one for Dad or the hubby. Pull this down a little bit and drag it over. Put it right there. And on his, I will put the heart that says Happy Valentine's Day. Or better yet, I think I'll put the lips on his. I had a pair of lips down here. Yeah. So we'll make it look like his box has a kiss on it. I'm just going to tilt that a little. And I won't put a shadow on that one because it makes it look like it might have been an actual kiss on the box. So I'm just going to brighten it up a little by going to Paint and Color Effects, change color, brighten it up a little bit so it stands out a little more. Take it down a little bit. There we go. And then on the top, see what else I have down here. Sorry about that car blowing in the background. People tend to speed around here at night. And I will take, I think I'll use the lips again on the top of the box. Shrink them down some. Kind of offset it as well. Brighten them up a little bit, like I did with the bottom. And let's see, what else did I have down here that I could use? Oh, I had another heart somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. I think it's hiding back there. There it is. Switch back to this one and grab that heart. Bring it up. Oops. Don't worry. I'll draw that out of there. Just like that. And then I'll get rid of the one underneath. I'll shrink this down some. And I'll just put to my hubby on there. With a different font. I'll use Artisan. I like Artisan. Amazon, I'll use that one. So just like that, and not too much time, you can make a box for the whole family. To my hubby. I'm going to do hubby separately so that I can put it closer together. zoom in a little bit so I can place these right where I want them. And just like that, you have 4 boxes. One for everyone in the family. So I hope you enjoyed this project as well. Enlarge it a bit so they'll show up better. So now you have a box for Valentine's Day for the whole family. It didn't take very long to make, and they turned out pretty well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and share, and I'll see you next time.